Greetings, my friend. It's midsummer, and it is midsummer of 2020, and we are indeed in perilous, that's a P word, perilous times. And so, with that in mind, what are we going to do about that? And so, with your permission, I would like very much to talk to you about some of the P words, the 7 P words that are vital to help you understand how we can begin again to re-entrepreneur and re-engineer and relaunch our businesses so that with God's grace, God's creative power, and God's care for us, we can once again build our businesses so that they will be fruitful and profitable once again. So I'm looking forward to you joining me as we go through this week on the Master Entrepreneur radio program, combined with What It Takes video programs, so that you can think and plan and pray better for the year, for the summer ahead, so that when we reach the end of summertime and go into the autumn of 2020, we will have a much clearer and better and more confident view of how we can do God's good work on planet Earth and how we can continue to make our mark in the world today. I'm Stan Houston. Indeed, the program is called This Is For You, the 7 words of passion and promotion that you need to know. Thank you for sticking with us. Now, our WIT program, What It Takes, is very much like the TED Talk, only it's wit. It's wisdom, insight, and truth. And it still is about 12 to 20 minutes. And this will probably get up there around 20 minutes because we believe we have some vital stuff to help you think about today. Because no matter your situation, new business you have to start, re-engineer and reconfigure your business because of the new realities. We've talked about that. You may even have to totally re-entrepreneur your business. You may have to recover the business in some significant way, and we'd like to help you do just that. So during this mid-summer week, we're going to be having a variety of programs, both for the Master Entrepreneur podcast radio program and What It Takes, the television video presentations that might be helpful and useful to you. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is one of the things I have learned to do whenever I'm trying to learn and remember something. I'm going to encourage you, either on the radio or if you're watching on video, a simple white cardstock. Not just a piece of paper, but a little thicker, you know. You can kind of hear it or see it. It's not just a piece of paper. And what I like to do is I want to take some very basic notes. Only a bullet point, maybe even just a word that will help me go back and remember what the program was about. And I don't encourage you to take too many notes because in the note-taking, you will oftentimes lose the significance in what is being said and what is being experienced. So the balance between just writing a word for recovery and remembrance, at the same time giving full attention as you can to the performer or the presenter or the teaching, is something that will be very helpful for you to learn and get good at, because we're going to be communicating a lot of our stuff in the video format, in the audio format, and you're going to have to learn how to capture that format. So here we go. From years and years of experience as a business performance coach, I went through the process of helping many men and women begin to build their business, to start up, to start over, to re-engineer and repair. And I came up with what I believe are the 7 things you need to do and you need to address to do just that. I can also claim that if you understand these 7 words and you have an answer to the questions, you will have the basis not only for a banking business plan, but you will know the 7 things you need to address for that pitch when you're seeking perhaps investors or somebody to come alongside of you. If you can answer and know something about these 7 issues and answer these 7 questions, you are going to be in better shape, maybe even great shape, when it comes to telling people who you are and what you can do and how you can help them. Who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. 3 things you better know. First of all, I'm going to use the P word that's very familiar. The first thing you have to have is a little bit of passion. Now, I know there's a lot of fluff behind the word, pursue your passion, find your deep passion. Yes, I understand that. But passion needs to be more fully understood rather than just some warm and wonderful feeling you have. First of all, the word passion has within it the element, and you've probably heard the word, the passion of Christ. Passion actually doesn't mean just a great and strong feeling. It oftentimes means suffering. To suffer is to pass through a passion. If you want to be successful, be prepared to suffer some. And so the thing you're suffering for, the thing that you're suffering through, you better be so prepared that what you're doing, you have the ability to endure some suffering. Another thing about that is one of my mentors one time said to me, Frederick Buechner, and he pointed out that when young people, and we're all young people if we're pursuing something new and young at heart, here's what he said: find the place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. Something that makes you glad and something the world needs. Maybe that's a definition of your passion. And again, from another story, Chariots of Fire, some of you remember that when the major story, Eric Liddell, was confronted by his sister who wanted him to have a passion for missionary work, and he seemed to have a passion for running, he said, "Don't you know, Jenny, God made me fast, and when I run, I feel His pleasure." Now, I'm going to ask you to put all of those things into the word passion. I'm going to ask you to think a good deal about what really is the passion in your life. Because some part of all of that must be involved in you building your life and business. Because building your own small business is some of the hardest work in the world. And so you better be ready. And having that emotional stamina, that ability to suffer, that ability to press forward because the passion is pushing you, is vital. So, first thing you need is passion. Purpose. There's our second P word. Purpose. And you've all heard about, the purpose-driven life, the purpose-led business. Here's what I'm going to ask you to think about. In your work and in your business, what do you want people to feel, experience, and do because they work with you? See, the purpose of your business should not be defined in your purpose and the purpose of the business. The purpose of your business should be defined in the customers, perhaps even the colleagues that you seek. Because that's what a business is all about. Ultimately, the business is not about you. The purpose of the business is to find, seek, attract customers and to have them do business with you. What do you want them to feel, experience, and be able to do because of you and your business? That's the second P word, passion, purpose. Number 3, I always encourage people who are involved in business work to do a little philosophical work. Everybody should have a basic course in philosophy. And here I simply say this. What do you believe is true? Do you believe in something? Yes, you have to if you want to create a business. If you don't believe in something, you are somewhat useless in the marketplace. You have to believe. Now, what do you believe is true about life, business, true success? As one of my clients who's become very successful said, that was one of the most important questions you ever asked me, because then we sat down and she said, I wrote, as she started her business, this is what we believe about here. This is what we do around here. This is what we think around here. This is what we value around here. We take the hit. We don't blame. We always do what is right for the customer. What is your philosophy? And I oftentimes encourage business people to sit down and we have a little class or course on this, and you write out what you believe. Make it clear. Make it concise. Make it creative. Make it compassionate. See that word, passion? And then make it something that you can communicate. Your philosophy. And one of the first questions you ask potential colleagues and perhaps people you want to work with is just simply say, what do you believe? Tell me about the things you believe in. Tell me about the things that are important to you. Now, you're not asking them to reveal any particular religion or anything that'll get you in trouble. You're simply asking them to share one of the most important parts about them. What do they believe? Because what they believe will influence how they behave. And how they behave will certainly influence how they perform for the customer and for you. What do you believe is true? Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. Right in the middle. People. I'm told that my grandfather, who I never met because he died of cancer when I was 1 year of age. There's a picture of me. That's all I don't even remember him. I just have the picture. But I was told by men and women who knew him that Mark Robertson was an incredible man who literally rose up from, as he would say, hillbilly land, and in a small town in Illinois, he built his own business and eventually bought a farm. And that farm was able to care for his wife and to some extent his daughter, my mother, because even at the age of 50, he passed away from cancer. He was a remarkable man. Supposedly, one of the comments that my mother remembers, and even mother and grandma would sometimes laugh about, he'd say to Grandma Maud, Maud, someday I wish I could get into a business where I didn't have to deal with the people, with the public. Well, of course, the joke is, what kind of business would that be? Well, kind of hard to have one. Now, ask me this, and ask yourself this. Stan, what kind of people do you want to serve? You can't serve everybody. You can't help everybody. That's impossible. Who do you believe that, based on who you are and what we've learned about your purpose and your philosophy, who are the people you want to serve? Who are the people you want to be customers? Describe them. Describe them fully. Feel, experience, do. What can you bring to them? Can you tell me about that? I don't want to know about your product. Not yet. I want to know about the people you hope to serve and sell and build relationships with and make good money because you provide great value for them. And then that will tell me who are the kind of colleagues you want. So you choose colleagues, you choose employees on how well they will connect with the customer. It's not just the business they can perform or the work they can do, because you'll always find people who will be good enough to perform the work, do the tasks, make the motions. But the thing you want is you want them to be able to relate and connect and persuade the people you seek as customers. So tell me, who are the customers you want and who are the colleagues and employees you want? Tell me about them. Okay? There we're at number 4, and that's kind of right in the middle, and that's vital. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh. Number 5 is going to kill you. Process. Oh my goodness. You know what? Running a business is a lot of paperwork and processes and going through all kinds of stuff. Right now I'm going through the process of getting the books updated and everything in place because, of course, I have to file reports with the government and I have to file my taxes. I hate that stuff. Thank goodness I have people who are good at it and like to do it. Now, most entrepreneurs fail here because they want to do everything. They want to control everything. They want to be in charge of everything. And they're usually not very good at process work. They're not usually good at managing paper and paperwork and policies and procedures and all of that stuff. And that's why I oftentimes say Circle 5 is a killer. Because there we're going to decide what you're going to do, what you're going to be about, and then you're going to delegate everything but your genius. There are people who know how to do websites. I don't. There are people who know how to do extensive videography. I don't. There are people who know how to do accounting. There are people who do all that stuff. And I'm not very good at it. I don't even like it. However, I have to learn to delegate the processes and have good people in the process circle. It's vital. And so many businesses fail because they do all the things pretty good. But when it comes to that vital process work, all of the stuff that goes into making a business function and work, they fail at, and they fail to find good people to help them. Okay. Number 6. Right now, your product. What's your product right now? Now, you say, well, what do you... No, not the purpose. The purpose of the company can remain the same, but the product will change. IBM. You know what that stood for International Business Machines. They made business machines. Guess what was one of their best sellers? The Selectric typewriter. The IBM Selectric was the most expensive and one of the best typewriters you could get. And they made millions of dollars. They also had a 360 computer, which was one of the primary business machines. IBM has none of those products anymore. Now, I remember a nice person said, "Stan, contact this man. I think he could use what you're about," and I was just beginning out, and he says, "Okay, and tell him that your friend, Dan Anderson, gave you the recommendation, and that'll get you in. He'll answer the call. He'll talk to you because of my recommendation." And so I did. I called him up. And I kind of went into, a little bit of my spiel. And then he said, "Stan, please stop. Stan, I know what you're doing. I've done it myself. I do it now. But Dan is my friend, and so there must be something you have that could be helpful to me." And then he paused and said, "Stan, what you got? Stop all the schmoozing and stop all of that. Just tell me, what do you got that you want me to consider having? What's the product? What's the offer? What is the thing right now that has a price tag and I can purchase it and you can deliver it so that I can do all the good things I need to do? What you got?" Now, the what you got is going to change all the time. And the problem is that your purpose may remain the same, but your what you got will change all the time. And when you fall too much in love with your product, and even the process that made the product, you're in trouble. Because then you will miss the purpose and the mission of the people you are trying to deal with. Because so many of the products are the product of the moment, the product of the now, and the product will change. But you better have a product right now. Then number 7, here's where we can help you. Promotion. You can have the best company, and you can have a fine organization, and you can have a great product, but if no one knows about it, you're out of business. Could be called marketing, it could be called selling. There's obviously a lot of words that go into it, but simply you are promoting yourself. Remember, you make the difference. Your company, because that's important. You are promoting the product of the moment and perhaps the product of the future. And you're doing so in such a way that a person says, "Okay, I'll listen." Didn't say they'd buy. But there was something that caught their attention in all of the noise and news of the world, and they said, "I'll listen." And then in the listening, you do something that keeps them interested, keeps their attention, helps them find something they might desire, encourage them to take it the next step and make a decision, and maybe even to act and make a purchase. But it doesn't happen until either word of mouth, word of video, word of radio, word in some way, they hear and see and experience the message from you. My friends, can you answer those questions, and can you speak to me in clear, concise, and powerful terms about, okay, This is the name of my business. This is my story. This is the company that I have created. And you know what is your deep gladness, your passion? Do you know what is the purpose for the client and the customer? What do you want them to feel, experience, and be able to know and do? What do you believe is true? What kind of people, both as customers and colleagues, do you want? What do you do best? And delegate the rest. What do you do best? And delegate the rest. What's the product of the moment? What you got? And resolve right now to be a personal performance marketer living the marketing life. Because first people will buy you. Then they might buy the purpose of your company and product. And then they might buy your product and service. But it will only happen when you learn the powerful art of personal performance marketing and you are able to promote in such a way that the seekers see and perhaps hear and listen, ask questions, ask for more, do some challenges, and then they discover that they should do something rather unnatural. They should actually give you good money because what you have is worth it. Sale made, and if you get enough of them, the business will thrive and prosper. There we go, my friends. Those are the 7 things, the 7 words you need to know if you're going to build a business starting right now in post-COVID-19 in the middle of 2020 in these perilous times. Know your 7 words, know your 7 questions, know your 7 answers, and then discover a friend or a coach or a mentor who can help you decide what to do. All the best and blessings to you, and make sure you do that to everybody you meet. Treat every person you meet as the most important person in the world. I really mean that. Bless everybody you meet. Bless those things that you benefit from. And always have a thankful and grateful heart. And all the best to you, and bye for now.